So I guess you heard on the news, Russia and Iran, friendship, and why this is happening. Alright guys, let's break it down. A growing axis between Iran and Russia. How do they get in closer to each other? As the West thinks it's scary. Before the video start, make sure you subscribe to the channel. I'll try to do more of these and let me know think in the comments. Anyways, let's begin. Basically Iran and Russia. We're getting closer to each other as the friendship grows. Both of them are so-called a threat to the West, and are enemies of the West. Of them have been sanctioned by the West and many inventions have happened. But the Russian-Iran friendship tensions date back to the early 19th century, when Iran lost territory to the Russian Empire. Tsarist Russia intervened militarily against Iran's 1905-1911 constitutional revolution. The Soviet Union supported the secession of the Gilan Soviet in northwestern Iran at the end of World War I, and of Iranian Azerbaijan and Kurdistan at the end of World War II. The Soviet Union, and Britain, occupied Iran during World War II. And Joseph Stalin's subsequent refusal to withdraw Soviet troops led to one of the first crises of the Cold War. Soviet support for the today, Iran's Communist Party, angered both the monarchy and theocracy. And the Soviet Union armed and aided Iraq during its 1980-1988 war with Iran. Even now, the Iranian press routinely refers to these events as reasons why Tehran should not trust Moscow. Since 1989, however, cooperation has increased between Moscow and Tehran. Russia agreed to complete the nuclear reactor at Bushehr, which was started by the German firm Siemens during the monarchy, but stopped after the 1979 revolution. Russia also began selling weapons, including missiles, to Iran. Both countries supported the opposition Northern Alliance against the Taliban in the 1990s. And along with China, Russia tried to weaken and delay US and European efforts to impose UN sanctions on Iran over its nuclear program. This shift could have negative implications for Russia. Iran could decrease its trade with Russia and increase its trade with the West. The Islamic Republic could serve as an alternative to Russia as a source of natural gas for Europe, though Iran's ability to do so would take several years to develop. And friendlier relations between Iran and the West could allow former Soviet states in the Caucasus and Central Asia to export petroleum to and through Iran, lessening their economic dependence on Russia. Moscow's 2015 announcement that it would permit the sale of S-300 air defense missiles to Iran may have been made in the hope that Tehran would continue to look to Moscow as an arms supplier even if Iranian-Western relations improve. Ever since I was right now, I was Russia still in Ukraine as it's trying to get the comedian guy out of office as the US backs protest in Iran. Has been difficult for the last few months, and was marked by the West for also having one of the worst COVID hotspots in the world, and the death rate of more than 1% and more BS. And now, since they got very few friends, they want to back each other, as the US mainstream media wants regime change involves for obvious reasons that they claim, and all these crises will bring them together. Why do you think most countries in a global south, or not with Ukraine? During World War like they don't give a shit about Persia because they all fought on Persian land as a pawn similar to Ukraine between NATO and Russia. And World War II more influence between the West and Russia starting to happen. As the US warned Iran to not lead commie to the Soviet Union and join the Western Bloc. Is because if the US or the West, if you're not with them, of course they're gonna hate you and will want to plot a regime change because they keep interfering. CIA well, always keep backing the rebels that are against them, because Iran, Russia, bad evil, always they also back Syria President Bashar al-Assad against US-backed rebel Bruce, especially the White Helmets, which is not only Israel in US-back but a terrorist group according to Mint Press News and Zach the Celtics guy. And it was a threat to the national security. Since the US is trying to back protest in Iran, Iran is going to help Russia, especially with drones, find Ukraine even though so-called military operation because there are neo-Nazis in Ukraine, but it's just escalating very bad. Since the Jacob agreement failed, Russia was opposed to the nuclear deal since 2015 because if the deal went through, this could be concerning for Russia and they could be improving relations between the West and Iran, and will try and switch sides, which not only concerning, but it could anger Moscow. Even though Israel oppose it for own reason. Since it failed at this point. If Iran wants nuclear bombs, they want Russia to help them make one for them. And this is the reason why Iran wants to help Russia back supplying Iranian drones used in Ukraine to fight the military aid, which is from the West, as they claim that there are Nazis like the Azov. But the West ain't easy to back down because they want to continue with their own imperialist. Basically, it will go back and forth once the attack, whichever side starts with other side will respond. And the real reason why Israel doesn't want to give the Iron Dome to Ukraine. Because if Ukraine lose it to Russia, Russia may give it them to Iran or some terrorist group on their hands, which is a dream Iran wants, as the West won't leave them alone. Because it's not just Iran. They're also doing that with Russia's little brother, Belarus. And the list will go on, and they need to understand why there's a reason they getting closer. And recently, the Azov militia from Mariupol was recently in Israel for a visit, according to Iranian and Russian state media, and even Zach the Celtic Sky. Israel is army neo-Nazis as a visit Israel. As they have both of them, or US-backed CIA. As they claim that Zionism will shake hands with Nazism, as they blame anti-Semite on the anti-imperialist countries. Just like the Western mainstream media will smear you, calling your Russian, Syrian, Iranian puppet apologies if you don't join them. Even though there's nothing to do to stop this friendship, but it will happen, and we'll see how it would play out in the coming years. Anyways, thanks for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoy this video. I could have done more, but I have to finish this video up as we finish for Christmas. But anyways guys, hopefully you guys subscribe to the channel. Have a Merry Christmas and New Year's everyone. The end.